Hi, my name is Brianna and I'm a tutor with Chegg, and today I want to talk to you all about what genotype is versus a phenotype. And so this is concerning genetics. So if you're working on genetics right now and are confused by these two terms, this is the video for you. So genotype is talking about the genetic information that's coming from your mom and your dad, and then the alleles that you get. So that's your genotype, is the two alleles you get, one from your mom and one from your dad. Whereas your phenotype is only talking about your physical appearance, what actually is coming out of this. So let's use an example and let's do earlobes. So for attached versus unattached, so I have my headphones on, but I'll still show you. So I have unattached earlobes, meaning that they hang low, like the song, your ears hang low. Anyways, so I have unattached earlobes and part of it comes off. And this is the dominant trait, is to have unattached earlobes. Okay? So for my phenotype of earlobes is unattached. So this is the one that I would mark for my phenotype. Whereas for my genotype, that's actually concerned with what my two alleles I got from my parents. So let's look at a Punnett Square. I'm just using A's to make it easy. And let's say that this top part is my dad's and this is my mom's. So both of my parents were heterozygous for unattached earlobes, okay? And so let's go through and determine which of these would show the dominant trait. Which one is the dominant trait going to show through? And for the first one, for sure, because that's homozygous dominant, because both of the dominant letters, the big letters for the dominant trait, and it's dominant to have unattached earlobes. And then this one, because you have one dominant and one recessive, which is heterozygous, then the dominant allele will show through. So for this one as well, this would be unattached earlobes. And so with this one. So my phenotype would be 3 are unattached. And then only 1 is attached, because that is my only one that has 2 recessive. And remember that the only way you could have a recessive trait show through is if both alleles are recessive. So my phenotypic ratio for this is 3 to 1. 3 unattached chances and 1 attached chances. But now let's talk about genotype. So genotype is the actual genetic information, and this is talking about what the alleles are. So let's first look at what my chances are for having homozygous dominant. So that means I'd have both of the big letters. So if I look at this, there's only one that has both big letters, and it's the top part of my Punnett Square. And make sure that you're remembering how to fill out in Punnett Squares, and you just go like factoring. You're just going one at a time and going into the correct boxes. So I only have one chance of having homozygous dominant. So I'd put a 1 there. And then for my heterozygous, which is also dominant, but for my genetic information, this is different than homozygous dominant. Even though the results, the physical features are still the same, the genetic information is different. So if you're doing a genotype, you have to show this independently. And so for my heterozygous, I have 2 chances of it being heterozygous. And both of these are heterozygous. So I have a 2 here. And for my last separate genotype, the only other one that's different is if both of them are recessive. So if I have two little a's right there, and there's only one chance of this happening. So I'll put a 1 here. So my genotypic ratio is 1 to 2 to 1. And so that's the difference between genotype and phenotype, is it's fully dependent on if you're looking at the actual genetic alleles, the alleles you're getting from your mom and your dad, versus what physically is showing. So genotype is you want to know the difference in alleles. Phenotype, you want to know the difference in physical attributes. My earlobes are physically unattached. So that part doesn't really matter. I know for sure that I have one of these options. But for genetic, if I'm wiring for genotypic purposes, I have to list both of these as my options. So I hope this made sense. If you have any questions for me, please let me know. Here's a link to my dashboard, and I would love to help you out with any science questions you might have. I hope you have a great rest of your semester. Bye.